Good evening, dear listeners. As the shadows lengthen and the world outside darkens, we invite you into a realm of the unexplained and the terrifying. Welcome to our scary stories. Tonight, we journey through dreams and realities where not everything is as it seems. So, curl up, dim the lights, and let us whisk you away to Morpheus Hollow. Listen closely, for in dreams and nightmares, truths are often revealed. The evening air was thick with a fog that seemed to roll in from all directions, swallowing up the horizon and merging the land with the sky. A chill, heavy with the scent of damp earth and decaying leaves, seeped into the bones of anyone daring enough to wander the roads leading to Morpheus Hollow. The street lights, few and far between, gave off a muted, amber glow, like watchful eyes muted by the overpowering mist. Adele's car ambled on, its headlights illuminating brief patches of the winding road ahead. The vehicle's soft hum was the only sound cutting through the silence. Even the crickets, which usually sang praises of twilight, were conspicuously silent here. Inside the car, the leather beneath Adele felt cold and slightly damp. The windows were fogged, save for a tiny patch she'd wiped off in front of her. The radio, in a futile attempt to catch any station, only offered static, mirroring her rising anxiety. Almost there, she murmured to herself, as she caught sight of a barely visible wooden sign, "Welcome to Morpheus Hollow." As she approached, the town seemed to emerge slowly from the fog. Quaint wooden houses, all dark, lined the streets. Each appeared frozen in time, with bicycles left on porches and laundry still hanging on lines, swaying like ghostly apparitions in the faint breeze. Every front door was closed, but occasionally a curtain twitched, as if the house itself was acknowledging her presence. Parking her car beside an old water fountain, Adele stepped out. The fountain, which once might have been the heart of the town, now lay dormant, its water stagnant. She could taste the metallic tang of the mist on her lips. Treading softly, the gravel crunched beneath her boots, echoing eerily in the stillness. A cat, its eyes shimmering like twin moons, watched her from a balcony, its tail twitching in mild curiosity. From Mrs. Daniels' house to her right, a pale blue light spilled from a window. Drawn to it, Adele cautiously approached. Inside, she saw Mrs. Daniels herself, or at least she thought it was her from the photographs she'd seen. The elderly woman sat rigidly on a couch, eyes closed. Yet, her living room was alive. The very walls seemed to breathe, projecting fleeting shadows and scenes. Whispers of a child's laughter turned to cries, and Adele felt a weight of sadness pressed down on her. Shaken, she stepped back, bumping into someone. Startled, she turned around to meet the eyes of a tall man, his face hidden beneath a wide-brimmed hat. "A bit late for a visit, isn't it?" he rasped, his voice echoing the chill of the mist. "It is," Adele admitted, her voice barely a whisper. "I'm here for a story. I'm a journalist." The man chuckled, a low, rumbling sound. "There are stories, and then there are tales from Morpheus Hollow," he replied cryptically, tipping his hat. "You'd best be careful which ones you chase." Adele watched as he walked away, disappearing effortlessly into the fog. Left alone once more, she couldn't shake the feeling that in Morpheus Hollow, the night was only just beginning. As Adele ventured deeper into Morpheus Hollow, she noticed more houses, each unique, yet bound by the same eerie slumber. Their wooden facades bore years of history, the intricate details of their architecture reflecting times gone by. Some homes, stately with tall windows and ornate balconies, hinted at the affluence of their owners. Others were more modest, adorned with hanging plants and children's toys left carelessly on the front steps. But it wasn't the structure of these homes that held Adele's attention. It was the scenes playing out on their walls. The houses seemed to pulse with life, the very essence of their sleeping inhabitants coming alive in surreal, dreamlike narratives. At the Thompson residence, a building painted a cheerful yellow. The walls undulated softly as if made of water. From them, Adele could hear the gentle hum of a lullaby, see the outline of a cradle rocking back and forth, and feel the touch of a mother's love. It was warm and inviting, a stark contrast to the chilly fog that hung around her. But 2 houses down, the Morgans' abode, a stately red-bricked manor, told a different story. The bricks seemed to bleed, dark streaks running down like tears. Whispers of regret and the unmistakable aroma of burning tobacco filled the air. Adele felt the anguish of missed opportunities and long-lost loves, the kind of remorse that clings to the soul, refusing to let go. With every step, the gravity of where she was and what she was witnessing weighed heavier upon her. This wasn't just a town asleep, this was a town trapped in its memories. and fears, each home a reflection of its inhabitants' innermost thoughts. Determined, Adele decided to interact more closely with the dreamscapes. Approaching the Barkers' house, she watched as the walls shimmered with the vision of a stormy sea. Waves crashed, thunder roared, and she could almost taste the salt on her lips. Instinctively, she reached out to touch the vision, and as her fingers made contact, a chilling cold jolted through her, forcing her to retreat. A soft voice broke her concentration. "It's best not to get too close," said a young woman, standing a few feet away. She was in her late 20s, with long raven black hair and eyes so light blue they almost seemed transparent. "I'm Clara," she continued, offering a thin smile. "It's been a while since we've had visitors. Most are too scared to stay." Adele, still recovering from her earlier shock, replied, "I can see why. What's happening here? Why are these visions being projected?" Clara sighed, her gaze drifting to the dream-laden houses. "These aren't mere visions. These are the souls of Morpheus Hollow, every hope, fear, love, and regret. They're trapped in a perpetual dream state, and you're witnessing their stories." The weight of Clara's words settled in Adele's heart. She had ventured into Morpheus Hollow seeking a story, but now she found herself intertwined in a tapestry of countless tales, each more haunting than the next. Determined to uncover the truth, she ventured on, with Clara as her unexpected guide. The mysteries of the town were unraveling, and Adele was right at its core. The heart of Morpheus Hollow, geographically and historically, was the town's old library. It stood apart from the other buildings, a relic of stone and wood, guarded by ancient oaks whose roots seemed to intertwine with the very foundation of the library. Moss clung to the structure, and ivy ran up its walls like serpentine veins. As Adele and Clara approached, the toll of a distant clock marked the passing hour, its resonance hanging heavily in the fog-laden air. "Many believe the origin of our town's curse lies within these walls," Clara said, her gaze fixed on the towering wooden doors. Adele felt an instinctual pull towards the library. The antique brass handle was cold, sending shivers up her spine as she pushed the door open. Inside, the scent of old books mingled with the faint, musty smell of decay. Rows upon rows of shelves stretched out before them, their contents ranging from ancient leather-bound manuscripts to newer, more modern tomes. The building might have seemed like any other library were it not for the low hum that filled the air. A vibration, almost imperceptible, that seemed to come from the very books themselves. As they ventured deeper, Adele noticed that some books were open, their pages fluttering even though there was no breeze. "They're reading themselves," Clara murmured, her voice filled with a mix of reverence and fear. One particular tome caught Adele's attention. Its cover bore no title, only an intricate emblem of intertwining dream catchers. Gently, she lifted it, and as she flipped through the pages, images began to form. Visions of Morpheus Hollow from decades past, children playing in the streets, festivals at the town square, lovers stealing secret glances. It was a tapestry of everyday life, filled with joy, sorrow, and everything in between. Suddenly, the scene shifted. A cloaked figure, face obscured, stood at the center of a ritualistic circle, chanting words that sent ripples through the fabric of the town's reality. The vision ended with the entire town enveloped in a thick fog, its residents falling into a deep, unending slumber. Adele, shaken, looked to Clara. Was that the beginning of the curse? Clara nodded gravely. Legend says an outsider, jealous of the town's happiness, invoked an ancient spell to trap Morpheus Hollow in dreams. That book, she gestured to the tome in Adele's hands, is said to have belonged to the very sorcerer responsible. The weight of the revelation pressed down on Adele. She now held in her hands not just the story she had come seeking, but possibly the key to unraveling the town's affliction. "We need to understand this further, maybe find a way to break the curse," Adele said, determination burning in her eyes. Clara's gaze was solemn. "It won't be easy. Many have tried, and many have become part of the dream." But as the two of them delved deeper into the mysteries of the old library, there was a glimmer of hope. For in stories, even the most terrifying ones, there always lies the potential for a new ending. The deeper Adele and Clara delved into the library, the more it seemed to expand around them. Endless corridors lined with ancient tomes wound into dim recesses. The omnipresent hum intensified, and the flickering lanterns cast elongated, wavering shadows on the walls. In one such dimly lit alcove, Adele discovered a map. not of land or oceans, but of dreams and nightmares. Locations were marked with symbols: a broken heart, a radiant sun, a weeping eye. Lines crisscrossed the parchment, connecting the symbols in a complex web. We might be able to navigate the dreams of the town's inhabitants with this, Adele murmured, tracing a line from a symbol of a house to that of a stormy cloud. Clara nodded, her eyes reflecting a mixture of hope and trepidation. Every resident's dream is a thread. Together, they form the fabric of the curse. To free the town, we may need to venture into the most intense of these dreams. With the dream map as their guide, they set out to confront the nightmares that held Morpheus Hollow captive. Each symbol led them to a corresponding house, where the town's dreams manifested on the walls. The first stop was at the home of the town's baker, Mrs. Bennet. The scent of freshly baked bread wafted in the air, masking a deeper, more pungent odor. As they approached, the walls displayed a scene of a once thriving bakery now consumed by fire. Mrs. Bennet's silhouette screamed as the inferno raged around her. With the dream map's guidance, Adele whispered words of comfort, reminding Mrs. Bennet of happier times. Slowly, the fiery vision dissipated, replaced by the sight of a bustling bakery with happy customers. Emboldened by their first success, Clara and Adele journeyed on, confronting and soothing the nightmares of the town's residents one by one. They navigated through storms, faced beasts of the mind, and crossed treacherous dream landscapes. With every conquered nightmare, the oppressive atmosphere of Morpheus Hollow began to lighten. Yet, as night deepened, the two of them realized the most intense dream, the very epicenter of the curse, awaited them. The map led them to a grand mansion at the edge of town, long rumored to be the home of the cloaked sorcerer from Adele's vision. The mansion's wrought iron gate loomed ahead, vines snaking their way up, as if trying to keep intruders out. The air grew cold, and a sense of foreboding settled in their bones. "We must be cautious," Clara whispered, her voice shaky. "This is where the heart of the curse lies." Adele tightened her grip on the dream map. Together, they stepped forward, ready to face the very source of Morpheus Hollow's eternal slumber. The mansion's doors groaned open, revealing the darkness within. Stepping into the grand mansion felt like descending into a pit of memories long forgotten. The walls pulsated with a dark energy, echoing with whispers of a past shrouded in mystery. Faint traces of lavender and musk perfumed the stale air, a jarring juxtaposition to the looming dread that permeated each room. The foyer was grand, its high ceilings adorned with chandeliers that shimmered in an ethereal glow, casting fractured beams of light that danced on the marble floor. Portraits of residents past adorned the walls, their eyes seeming to follow Clara and Adele as they moved deeper into the mansion. The dream map pulsed in Adele's hand, guiding them towards a grand ballroom. Its opulence was breathtaking, yet every item seemed out of place, like memories forced together without rhyme or reason. A harpsichord played a haunting tune on its own, its melody melancholic and lingering. In the center of the ballroom was a grand mirror, ornate in design, but unlike any mirror either of them had seen. Instead of reflecting the room, it displayed a swirling vortex of colors, ever shifting and turning in on itself. "This is it," Clara murmured, "the nexus of the curse. The dreams of Morpheus Hollow converge here." As they approached, the colors in the mirror swirled more violently, images flashing rapidly, a child's laughter turning to screams, a wedding morphing into a funeral, a sunny day giving way to a relentless storm. A voice, both chilling and familiar, echoed from the depths of the vortex. "Who dares to disrupt the dreams of Morpheus Hollow?" Clara and Adele exchanged a determined glance. This was the confrontation they had been preparing for. Adele stepped forward, her voice unwavering. "We are here to break the curse and free this town." A laughter, cold and mocking, reverberated through the room. "Many have tried, and all have become part of the dream. What makes you think you can succeed?" Clara held up the dream map, her voice steady. "We have the knowledge, the will, and the purpose. We have faced the nightmares of this town and have come out stronger. We will not be deterred." The mirror's vortex began to expand, threatening to engulf the entire ballroom. The force of it pulled at Adele and Clara, their feet slipping on the polished floor. Yet, amidst the chaos, Adele had an idea. She began to recount the stories they had encountered, the dreams they had navigated, and the hope they carried. With every word, the vortex in the mirror seemed to waver, its pull weakening. Clara joined in, her voice harmonizing with Adele's, weaving a tapestry of memories, dreams, and aspirations of the town's inhabitants. The combined power of their voices, filled with conviction and hope, acted as a beacon, drawing the swirling energies of the vortex back into the mirror. With one final, defiant push, they channeled all their energy, and the mirror's surface shattered, releasing a blinding light that bathed the entire mansion. When the light faded, the ballroom was as it should be, devoid of the haunting mirror and the vortex of dreams. A weight of the curse seemed lifted, the air lighter and filled with the promise of a new dawn. Exhausted but triumphant, Adele and Clara leaned on each other, taking in the magnitude of what they had achieved. The heart of the curse had been confronted, but the journey was far from over. They had to ensure that Morpheus Hollow truly awoke from its eternal slumber. As the sun began to stretch its golden fingers over the horizon, the two women emerged from the mansion, weary but filled with newfound determination. The dream map, which had once pulsed with energy, now lay dormant in Adele's grasp. The once oppressive weight that had hung over Morpheus Hollow seemed to be lifting, replaced with an air of anticipation. Yet, the town remained silent, with no sign of awakening from its eternal slumber. "We've shattered the nexus, but the people still sleep," Clara remarked, concern evident in her voice. "Perhaps there's something more we need to do." Adele nodded, reflecting on the myriad dreams they had navigated. Each dream was a story, a memory, or a fear. Maybe we need to give them a new memory, a collective experience to pull them from their slumber. As they walked through the town square, Adele noticed the old clock tower, its hands frozen in time. An idea began to form. The clock. It's the heartbeat of the town. If we can set it in motion, perhaps the rhythmic chimes will rouse the town. With Clara in agreement, they approached the towering edifice. The wooden doors of the clock tower were weathered, a testament to the passage of time. Pushing them open revealed a winding staircase, leading up to the heart of the clock. The climb was arduous, each step creaking in protest. As they ascended, the town below looked like a miniature model, houses and streets bathed in the soft hues of dawn. Reaching the top, they were met with the intricate machinery of the clock, gears and levers intertwined in a delicate dance of mechanics. But it was still, silent, waiting for a nudge to spring to life. Clara, with her understanding of devices, began examining the mechanism. It's not broken, just dormant, like the town itself. Taking a deep breath, Adele placed her hand on the central gear, and with a gentle push, set it in motion. Clara joined her, and together they infused their energy, their hope, into the heart of the clock. Slowly, almost imperceptibly at first, the gears began to turn. A rhythmic ticking filled the air, growing louder with each passing second. The hands of the clock began their dance, moving gracefully towards the hour. And then, with a resonating chime that echoed across Morpheus Hollow, the clock struck the hour. Below, a subtle shift occurred. Windows began to glow with morning light, doors creaked open, and the once silent streets began to stir with life. The residents of Morpheus Hollow were awakening, stretching and yawning, as if from a long, deep sleep. From their vantage point, Clara and Adele watched the town come alive, their hearts swelling with pride and relief. "It worked," Clara whispered, her eyes glistening with tears of joy. Adele smiled, her grip on the now quiet dream map firm. The town's heartbeat has returned. The journey was not over, but for now, Morpheus Hollow had been given a new dawn, a fresh start. And as the day began, the two women knew that they had played a pivotal role in awakening a town lost to dreams. As the town stirred and people blinked in the new day's light, the atmosphere was a curious blend of joy, confusion, and disbelief. Children ran through the streets, their laughter a sweet melody that hadn't graced Morpheus Hollow in years. Elders greeted each other, a gleam of recognition lighting up their eyes. Families embraced, rekindling connections lost to the unyielding embrace of the dream curse. Adele and Clara stood amidst the rejoicing crowd, taking a moment to absorb the scene. The once forlorn streets now bustled with life, with the market stalls beginning to display their goods and the familiar hum of conversation filling the air. However, not everything was celebratory. Some residents, as they awoke, faced the grim realization of lost time. Some mourned loved ones who had aged or passed on, while others grappled with dreams that had felt too real, blurring the lines between illusion and reality. In the town's center, a makeshift stage was erected. The mayor, a robust woman named Marjorie, took to the platform, her voice commanding attention. "Citizens of Morpheus Hollow, today marks our rebirth. But we must acknowledge the challenges that lie ahead. Dreams have intertwined with memories, and our collective psyche has been tested. A man named Thomas stepped forward, his eyes red-rimmed. I dreamt of my son growing up, of moments I never truly experienced. How do I reconcile this? A young woman, Leela, added, in my dream, I was a renowned artist, but now I hold a brush and feel lost. The town echoed with similar sentiments, each story a testament to the depth of their experiences during the long slumber. Clara, feeling the weight of the town's collective pain, approached the stage. Morpheus Hollow, she began, her voice gentle yet firm. Dreams have power, but so do we. We can choose to embrace these dream memories, learn from them, and use them to shape our reality. Adele joined her side, holding up the dream map, now silent and still. This map guided us through your dreams, and each one was unique, filled with fears, joys, and lessons. Perhaps, in a way, these dreams were a gift, offering insights and experiences you might never have had. The crowd murmured in agreement. An old woman, her hair a cascade of silver, spoke up. In my dream, I relived moments with my late husband, moments I had forgotten. It was painful but also precious. Marjorie, nodding sagely, said, we must remember, it's not the duration but the depth of experiences that matter. Let's channel these dream memories, making Morpheus Hollow stronger and more united. Inspired, the town began to organize events to share, reflect, and heal. Art sessions were organized for those like Leela, music filled the streets, and storytelling evenings became a norm, allowing residents to share their dream journeys. As the days turned into weeks, Morpheus Hollow transformed. While the scars of the dream curse remained, they were no longer wounds but badges of resilience, tales of survival and strength. Adele and Clara, having played their part, prepared to leave, knowing they had set the town on a path of recovery and growth. But as they packed their bags, they couldn't shake off a lingering feeling. Their journey in Morpheus Hollow was not quite over. Something awaited them, a final chapter yet to be written. Morpheus Hollow, once a quiet town lost in time, was now a lively hub of stories, memories, and dreams reclaimed. The streets echoed with tales of otherworldly experiences and lessons learned from the dream realm. Children with sparkling eyes listened to these narratives, marveling at the adventures of their kin. Adele and Clara, having become somewhat of town legends, were given a heartfelt farewell party at the heart of the town square. The backdrop was the rejuvenated clock tower, its rhythmic ticking a comforting reminder of the town's awakened spirit. Marjorie approached the duo, a twinkle in her eye. You know, she began, Morpheus Hollow was named after the god of dreams. Legends speak of a treasure hidden deep within our lands, said to grant the beholder the power of dreams. Adele exchanged glances with Clara. The dream map might have lost its shimmer, but its purpose was far from over. Where can we find more about this legend? She inquired. Marjorie pointed towards the town's library, a grand structure with ivy-clad walls and Gothic windows. All our tales reside there. Perhaps there's more for you to discover. The next day, under the soft glow of candlelight, the two women scoured ancient tomes and scrolls. Hours turned into days, and just when they were about to give up, a parchment titled Echoes of Morpheus caught their attention. The document spoke of a crystal, the Eye of Morpheus, which was said to be the embodiment of the god's power. Legend claimed it lay deep within a labyrinth beneath the town, guarded by trials that tested the beholder's understanding of dreams. Equipped with the knowledge from the parchment and the dream map as their compass, Adele and Clara ventured to the location mentioned. Beneath an old willow tree, they discovered an entrance. With a deep breath, they began their descent. The labyrinth was unlike any other. Its walls whispered secrets, floors shifted like sand, and ethereal lights guided their path. They faced challenges that delved deep into their fears and desires, each trial echoing the dreams of Morpheus Hollow's residents. Finally, they reached the heart of the labyrinth. Before them stood a pedestal, atop which lay a crystal, its facets shimmering with a soft, dreamy light. As they approached, the dream map resonated, and the crystal's glow intensified. Clara, with a touch of reverence in her voice, whispered, "The Eye of Morpheus." Adele gently lifted the crystal, and as she did, a rush of images and emotions flooded her mind. Every dream, every hope, every fear of Morpheus Hollow's residents surged through her. Understanding dawned on her. This isn't just power, she mused, it's responsibility. To understand dreams and to respect them. With Clara's nod of agreement, they decided to safeguard the crystal, ensuring that its power was revered but never misused. Returning to the town, they established the Morpheus Sanctuary, a place where the crystal's energies could be felt and where individuals could learn the art of dream interpretation. Morpheus Hollow flourished, its stories of dreams and reality intertwining, making it a beacon for travelers and seekers. Adele and Clara, having unearthed and protected a legend, finally felt their journey was complete. As years passed, the tale of the two women who awakened a town and discovered the Eye of Morpheus became legendary. Their legacy, like the ever-ticking clock tower, stood as a testament to the power of dreams and the strength of those who dare to understand them. And as the hands of the clock continue their relentless march, we find ourselves at the end of another haunting tale. Dreams might fade with dawn, but remember, dear listeners, the stories we share here linger in the shadows, waiting for the perfect moment to revisit your thoughts. Sleep tight, and may the tales of Morpheus Hollow remain but a whisper in your dreams. This is our Scary Stories signing off for tonight.